What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
Right here. We connect you to wealth opportunities that match your priorities. Join today.
Kick up your day with PZ, Hope, and Chromes on the RHB, brought to you in partnership with Standard Chartered Bank. Here for good.
All right, it's the Red Hot Breakfast, and right now here to tell you about the greatest love of all, Valentine's Getaway. So win an unforgettable 2-night stay at Radisson Blu Mosotunya Livingstone Resort with a sunset cruise on the mighty Zambezi River. So this is how you enter. Share a voice note of the most romantic thing your partner has done for you to 0967 185 010. And also to boost your chances, post a photo of your time at Radisson Blu Livingston. Tag your partner and comment hashtag greatest love of all and hashtag hot at 20. So the campaign was launched on the 22nd of January this month and runs till the 10th of February. So let's celebrate love and 20 years of Hot FM. Otherwise, T's and C's apply.
All right, we're now getting into a conversation with our guest presenter.
All right, so as we earlier did mention that we have our guest presenter in studio, and every Friday we do this, and we're joined in studio by our guest presenter. And we're happy to have Mrs. Mumbi Phiri as our guest presenter this morning. We will be discussing a number of issues with Mrs. Peri, and you will have a chance to add to this conversation a little later in the show. But let's welcome our guests. Mrs. Peri, good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Good morning. You've forgotten my other new name, which I've acquired. These are big machines, you know. Don't forget.
We saw that in the paper.
We saw it in the paper.
Yes, that's my additional name now.
Okay.
I've just realized that
Big
I'm
machine.
a big machine.
Where did you get that name from?
Where did I get that name from? I got it from Kawambwa.
Okay.
Where I'm just coming from. And I just realized that I'm the only woman who is arrested on an bailable offense all the time. The 429 days I spent in Mongu was unbearable. Again, over a lie, I was arrested. Why? Then they said, you're a big machine. So that's my new name. Okay.
All right, otherwise, how's 2025 for you so far?
2025 is okay. And I've started this year on a positive side, especially that God has done so much for me. You can imagine being arrested for no reason and you come out. Everybody in the government system was so ashamed. Bala moneka fekwati na balubana mwaikata na mayo bamutinta mwalikala po 14 days without bathing. Explain to your husband how it feels. Namayo tausabile, even 2 days. Do you feel okay? How does that make you feel? Really? I'm so sad.
Well, we should in fact thank you for making it this morning, because you have hardly rested, and well, after your release, you embarked on a long journey back home. Otherwise, personally, how are you feeling?
I feel tired. You know, when you see the pictures, I was wondering how Kasonde Mwenda really got the news that I was caged. You can't believe that Kawambo Police Post has no cells for women. Imagine, Hope, you're a woman. You have no toilet. You can't bath. You are kept in a cage. It's a cage. When it rains, the rain enters where you're sleeping. Bakoswe kulangiro mondere. Apapa police pariba no tululu. We were sharing that cage no tululu. And when I look back where I'm sitting, I thank God that I'm still okay. When I arrived, you know, I was admitted in hospital for 2 days because I had malaria. I last had malaria in 2020 during the pregnancy of my last born. How many years? 25 years. I am become cage. Narwala malaria. When they did the test, I had 450 plus parasites in my body. And to come back home and talking to you like this, I just thank God.
Now, you were initially charged with aggravated robbery, only for the DPP to drop the charges for lack of evidence. Take us back to the time that you were arrested. It is reported that you clashed with Green Economy Minister Mike Mposha during the Kawambwa by-election, and you were accused of assaulting Honorable Mposha and robbing him of money and phones. So, tell us what happened. What really happened on the ground that day?
You know, it's so sad. And what I'm embarking on as I've come back, I want to invite all of you journalists, one, in fact, as I speak, ask Mike Mposha the type of phone he's using. Why should I rob a phone which is 3,800? You know, my job in Ndichimbosa, I teach young people when they're getting married. On my 55th birthday, I was surprised. You know, the young girls put money together and bought me a phone. Now I believe it's at 36,000. That's the type of phone I'm using. Eroyo nje njibire bamposha phone ya 3,800. One. If you look at Mposha, come to my home. He's my neighbor. You go to his house. Does he match my standards? Patari. Ero na yam kumanya kumpanga mwibire 20,000. Does that make sense? 3, I was shocked. In fact, I had to send a voice note to this radio station because they even started lying that I had run away. How could I run away for a crime I didn't commit? If anything, if we had justice in this country, the person who was supposed to be arrested was Mposha himself and his team. Because in that area where he was campaigning, he wasn't supposed to be there as per schedule of the Electoral Commission. He wasn't supposed to be Chibote. That was our day when he was supposed to be there. And when I found him there, I asked him, what are you doing here? Because UPND is not supposed to be in this area today. And he said they got permission from Electoral Commission. Does that make sense? Now, why the people of Kawambwa are calling me big machine, it clearly shows that this government is scared of me. And I know President HH knows that I can rule better than him because he has failed. His government is a government of failures. The commissioner of police, Mr. Yui, grade 9, supervisor, my degree holders. Does that make sense? Mr. Yui is a grade 9. Ba mobile, whatever English, recognize grade 12. All of Apoka BA Yakuli Shibuken. Does that make sense? No wonder even in your ministry, your ministry, you are being supervised by a grade 7. You can't even bring credentials. They have failed. They have failed.
The question is, what happened on that day?
On that day, what happened was, me, when I arrived, in fact, I was just in Kawambo for 2 days. And the area where I was given to be campaigning from is Kala area. That's where Chibote is. You find Chibote school when you are going to Kala. When I went straight up to Kala. I came back. I found 2 vehicles. I didn't really pay attention. We passed. Apparently, Mposha himself told me that there were some Tonse boys who confronted him before I actually went there twice. Those young people found him and they cautioned him what he was doing there. They left. They left others to see what they were doing there. And then they came, reinforced, picked some more boys, they went back. The 3rd time they went, when they had the confrontation, that's when they approached me. They found me at a campaign center. Then I picked 3 other women, who were 4 women, got into the car and went where Honorable Mposha was. And when he saw me, he came to me. And he greeted me, Mulamu mulibwanji. Mulamu, because now there was so much noise. Even the villagers joined in. Then I asked him, Mulam, what's happening? No, your boys have come here to disturb us. That's when I asked him, as per calendar, you are not supposed to be this area today. What are you doing here? That's when he answered me that they got permission from the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which doesn't make sense to me. When you are scheduled to campaign in the area, you're supposed to stick to that. That's how he invited me. But she accused that in my ballot papers. Come, you see what we are doing. He got me. We entered a room where there were some other boys and there was a computer. And he showed me that this is the register for UPND. And we are giving this campaign material. He showed me the T-shirts. So what the boys were claiming that they are the ballot papers, I didn't see them. And I can't join UPND the way they are because them, I think it's in their DNA to lie. I didn't see any ballot papers. Those are the things I saw. And now the tempers were going high. I even shouted, I said, there's no need, please be calm. I'm sure you can hear me saying that in the video. And he escorted me out, up to the car. I entered the car. The other two women entered. I realized that one of the women was not there. When he went back, that's when I followed him. I found him having a confrontation with this other woman. That's how I picked. I said, no, let's go. That's how we went to the car. And we left. He actually escorted me to the car.
So there was
in
no
the
clash
morning,
between you and him?
no, there was nothing. In fact, the following morning, because after that, I had a program on the radio station in Luapula. I was the first one. I had my program for over an hour, and he went there later. That's how I left, because I had Ichilanga Muliro Serenje for my niece. When I was going to Serenje, actually Mposha called me. I have a recording on my phone of our conversation. He called me. I didn't see him calling me. Then I called him back. That's when he explained, Mulamu, you know, Stifunika kutitizia mbana. But paja pamene munabura. That's when he told me that mufana waku media kwao had lost a phone and the 20,000. Then I said, I'm not aware. Anyway, I'll find out. I'll call the people, because me, I've left already. I'll call the people who are at the campaign center to find out.
So at that time, did he sound like he was accusing you of stealing the phone?
No. He said the boys, okay, who were there from Tonse.
So he was just informing you?
He was informing me. Actually, what he told me was that they shouldn't delete anything and they should bring the 20,000. Then I said, by then I had heard that he had reported me to the police. I have the recording of that.
Who was the complainant? Was it Mr. Mposha or who was
There were the three of them. I don't know who the complainant is, but he's one of those whom the police got the statement from. But at that time, when I was talking to him on the phone, he told me, Baburese chabe phone, na yo 20,000. Then I asked him, I said, I've heard that you have reported me to the police. And he refused. He said, Mulamu Bevo, go to any police station, you won't find anything. As usual, they are liars. I have that conversation on my phone. That's how I said, okay, bye. Later, there was a council, I believe it should be a council secretary for Mwense, who is under UPND. He also called me. Mayomulishani, and if you thank you. I'm glad that you have even answered the phone. I said, I'm a leader. I answer a phone from anybody. I have no restrictions. Then he said, Mayo, what happened? Because there was another incident which involved Honorable Jean Chisenga, Council Bukandila, and Peter Chanda. Then he said, were you there in Tumbachushi? Then I said, no. I wasn't part of the team which was assigned to Ntumbachushi. Besides, you know my history with Ntumbachushi. I can't even go there. Then he said, oh, yes, because that's where my son died. So I can't go there. That's the truth. Then he said, well, you know my politics, you know Kwambana. And I said, but you know, we shouldn't allow that. You and me, we are not very old. We shouldn't put this country on fire for political gain. The people we are going to put in problems are our children and our grandchildren. Look at the way the country has turned out to be. And we said bye. I have all those. They're recorded on my phone. So when I was in Serenge, I just received a call from my son to say, Mom, the police are looking for you. Apparently, they had taken a call out at my house. My husband received it and took it to my lawyers. And there was an impression which was created that I'd run away. Running away for what?
Where were you at that time?
I was in Serenge. That's when I sent a voice note to your station to say, I hear the police are looking for me. As soon as I'm in Lusaka, I'll go to the police. And that's what I did. When I arrived, because we also have a farm in Serenge, when I finished my Chilangamuliro, I went to the farm to make sure we had put fertilizer. When I arrived in Lusaka, I went straight to force headquarters because that's where the call out came from a Mr. Chewe. When I arrived with my suitcases, I didn't even reach my farm. I saw the senior police officer there. That's how they detained me. They took me to Ibex police. Early morning at 02, I just saw the police coming. They said, we are starting off. Going where? To Kawambwa. Then I said, I came here. If you had told me that I was wanted in Kawambwa, I could have gone straight to Kawambwa. And I said, now we can't start off. Give me my bags, because the bags I was with, they were taken by the officer in charge at Ibex. Then they said, the officer in charge is not here, so we have to go. I said, no, I'm not going to go to leave my bags. I don't know for how long I'm going to stay there. I'm glad that they obliged, they called the officer in charge. So we started off from Lusaka at 03:30. Went to reach the Bansa, because that was the assignment for the police officers who took me. They were supposed to take me up to Mansa. From Mansa, I was put Peri to Kawambwa. And that's how I was detained. And I thank God, when my children realized that I was taken, they followed with the lawyer. Up to now, I'm wondering what could have happened to me if the lawyers didn't come right away. Because there are people who are being detained. They haven't seen the courtroom for 2 years. In fact, from here, I'm going to the United Nations. Ngakulala na lala parapeni panse pa UN. Pakamo nebara patua who came from the UN.
Mrs. Peri.
Yes.
Let's get to the DPP. Mr. Gilbert Peri says there's no evidence to prosecute. What do you make of his decision?
For me, I think he's playing to the gallery. He has done that because of the repertoire which is present in this country, who have come to see truly if the human rights abuses are happening. Because they know there's nothing I did. There wasn't even any need to arrest me. I never quarreled with Imposha. What we had was a friendly conversation. He calls me Mulamu because I'm married to his relative. They are both in Senga, and that's what we call each other. From a long time, Mposha was under me in Munadi. He was a ward official. We know each other. We are neighbors. And can you believe, when I was arrested, my youngest son apparently went to Mposha's house twice and pleaded with him. He's a father. To me, I'm wondering, How did he feel? My young son going to him to plead with him. You mean he couldn't just drop those charges? Wanting me to get arrested? He's very happy I was sleeping on the floor in the cage without bathing for 14 days.
Did you try asking for water? Would you talk about the bath? Did you try asking?
Where was I going to bath? Where I was sleeping, it was open. It's a cage. I have pictures. What kasonde mwenda? Fidia kasonde mwenda. Kopere muline nkoko. It's exactly what was happening. So where was I going to bath? Ntampo kufula bare ntamba abantu bare pita. You know, it was so humiliating. That's why I'm asking, Bamutinta Ichirema, how do you feel? Your husband treating me, a woman like you, like I'm an animal. Ingombe Zambia nembushi na fichindama pokuchiro omuntu. It's very sad.
Now, this is not the first time you're getting on the wrong side of the law. Why is it always Madam Mumbi Phiri finding herself in such situations?
Have I ever found myself on the other side of the law? Did I kill anybody? Did I steal Portia's phone and 20,000? It's stories which are created. And they should be ashamed because God uses me to expose them. They are exposed when they lie on me big time. God intervenes in my situation. I've never been on the other side of the law. Never.
Do you feel targeted?
Yes, that's why I'm in Kawambo. I think they've given me big machine. They know that I'm better than them. All of them put together, they can't match me.
Sorry, but I need to ask this. So with all these arrests, we can point at the last one as well. You have family, you have a husband, you have children, people who love you so dearly. And some people have been suggesting that maybe you take a backseat, you stay away from the politics. Your family needs you right now. Is your family, is your husband, your children, how do they feel about what you've had to go through because of these politics? Are they equally telling you to just take a backseat now and just focus on family?
Why should I take a backseat? You are a journalist. If you are being targeted because you're good, hope at what you do, would you sit back? This is a calling from God. I'm a politician and I've been called. Is that the way it's supposed to be in Zambia? When you speak the truth, then you become a target? For me, I believe this is a calling. And those who think if they can arrest me, unless if they kill me, that will be the end. But as long as I'm breathing, I'm walking, it's a lutte continua. If anything, they have really made me have that zeal. My husband can't stop me. In fact, it's him who sponsored single-handedly, for those who remember, in 2006. He sponsored me to become a member of parliament using his own money. You understand? So this is a calling, and they better be ready. And I thank God that is on my side, because whenever they do imingalato, how do they feel? Aren't they ashamed? How is the nation looking at them? And the sad part is, it's everywhere now. I'm a hot cake. Everybody now want to see, who is this Mumbi Phiri? Who is this Mumbi Phiri? Everywhere, all over the world. So hope you're a woman. And I hope one day, the way you're interviewing me, I'll also recruit you. Come into politics. Speak for the people. Me have the conviction that God wants me to use my voice to liberate the people of Zambia. So I'll continue.
Have you had a conversation with Honorable Mposha after this matter has died down?
I arrived yesterday around 03. I was resting at home. This morning I'm here. After I'm done with the UN, I'll go to his house and really find out what was he up to. Did he want me to die? I'll definitely have a conversation with him. He's my neighbor. I'll go.
Do you think that's the right course of action?
No, just to talk to him. What was his intention? How does he feel? Has he achieved? Is it part of his CV that he got me arrested? His neighbor is Mulamu.
But you know him, so does he seem like the type of person that's capable of what you're saying?
But what does this
Put it
mean?
on the table.
What can you make out of this? That's why I want to find out. Has it added to his CV?
What would you want to get out of that conversation with Honorable Mposha?
Just to find out.
That's it?
Yes. Just to really find out. Has his CV gone up from my arrest, lying on me, when he knows I can't steal? My caliber, he knows he passes through my home. In a really kuiba 20,000. I just want to have a conversation with him. I'll go to his house.
And if he chooses not to accommodate you?
It's all right. Then I'll know I'll leave him. But as a Catholic, we go to the same church. I just want to find out. That's when maybe I'll put a closure.
You seem to have a very to have some sort of relationship with Mr. Mposha.
Yes, we do.
Is there anything that transpired that we might not know of that you need to share?
Maybe you can
because
ask
from what
him.
you're explaining, it's like you're very close. You're neighbors. You go to the
Yes.
same church.
Yes.
Your kids visit each other.
That's why even when I was in sales, my son, my last born son, they call him uncle. Even himself, there was an interview he had, I don't know which radio station. He mentioned that that's my mulam. Even when he went, I can bring you the recording from Radio Kwanga. He said that we have a relationship. Was he pushed? Did somebody push him to do what he did? That's what I want to find out from him. He's very close to me. Did somebody want to use him as Imingala Toshabamu UPND? But if I were him, I would have refused. Is his Nangwadi Muchita threatened that if you don't do this, to alakutanfienchito, maybe his job, ministerial job, is very, very important to him. But one day akafumap, our relationship is sour. I don't know how my children are looking at him. Omuntu obachindi kabamwita uncle.
Mrs. Peri, Zambia is hosting the UN Special Rapporteur until the end of the month. If you had a chance to meet Mrs. Khan or Miss Khan, what would you tell her about Zambia's human rights situation?
That's why I've told you that from here I'm going to the UN. I'm an example of human rights abuses. Mind you, when I was Zambian High Commissioner to Kenya, I was also a permanent representative to the United Nations headquarters in Africa, which is based in Nairobi. I understand. I want her to see this woman, and I want her to hear my story. I've got pictures, everything. If you don't call this as human rights abuse, what is it? Zambia is a signatory to the United Nations. Are you aware that even them taking me from Lusaka to Kawambwa, where I've no relative, it's the church and the party who were feeding me? Na chirina kona paskeo lero luchero nabikira kona 2 kg bale ndisha bachechi kabale takotuma fruits bale toboa. You can imagine. I've been fed. But why should Zambia work in isolation when we are part of the United Nations? Under Article 57 of the Mandela Rule, it says when you arrest somebody, benanga bale monati kukawambwe kuri aba witnesses, they should have arrested me here because my family is here, and they were supposed to bring government expense ukuleta abantu abokuno at their expense. It's there under the UN court, under the Mandela Rule 57. No mbapantu abantu aba, they're undescribable. They are not even ashamed kwebati fidi abasendere babula amastudges yabo bayayishitira kambwiri samoni kukasama kambwiri alufya bamunina babiri. Are they human? Ushaba abantu n'abaana bafyala bala bapenda tinabo bantu. These things which they are doing, us will be gone. It will remain as a trend. Are they thinking okay? Those are the things that it's clear. That's why these repertoires come, because we are part of them. And they know under their own rules, Article 57, they're not supposed to do that. As if that's not enough. Transport. They didn't. Because they were supposed to transport me back. And this time, I think abantu filefilanda binwe watinaba tuberesha. I think na never beresha. This time I'm suing the state. Starting from Mongo. And I just want people to see. Because the precedents under our law. Ngabaku fumia panole. Takuri kukulipira. But abantu babo. I want to prove to the people that well. Yes. I'll start with the Mongo one combined with this one, because this was wrongful detention. And you know what case they gave me when they were releasing me? Breach, whatever, the breach of peace. Bandi pilisha 59 kwacha. Does that make sense? Are these people okay in their heads?
When do you intend to start the proceedings?
The proceedings I'm starting on Monday. I will sue them because bamberesha sana babantu.
Well, if you just tuned in, our guest presenter today,
Madam Peri, I remember speaking to you on the hot seat the time you were released from prison in Mongo after spending over a year in prison, and was speaking to you now here after you spent 2 weeks in Kawamba in holding cells. You were more positive then after spending a year in prison than you are now. What has changed?
What has changed is I've come to realize that ababantu bari for kumberesha, and it's very annoying, and they want to make it a habit to be arresting me on flimsy grounds. Actually, I'm very, very upset. That's why I've even decided to take them to court. We see if you to prove because I'm taking them to court as a formality, and especially ababa kapokola. They're using them to arrest people for nothing. Tuakaneko pension imwe. Tukakaneko pension na baba bamsamba batata. Tukakaneko pension. I'll court all of them who are the hand, even the arresting officer, and he's very young. Tuala kana pension ilimbivala reka. Ni monafet chibere shichi. That's why I'm sounding like this.
Okay, again, yesterday, NDC President Savoy Mboela, who was also a member of the PNP yesterday, she was on the hot seat and she said, well, she feels you're being targeted because there were things that you said in the past that she feels the UP India are trying to punish you for. And one of them is being the incident in Mongo. She says, you had issued an instruction to the police and gave them an ultimatum to arrest then opposition leader, who's now President Hakainde Hichilema, because of the Mongo incident.
You know, that's why I said earlier on that I thank God that God is using me to expose the hypocrisy in Hakainde Hichilema. Hasn't he told the nation that he has told his cadres, those people who are under him, whatever crime or how bad we were, they should leave us? And if someone can say that, isn't that a clear exposure. Now I expose. God is using me to expose their hypocrisy, which is very sad by elder. Gabale imbana woto iliabakwata. Mumutima wenu mwali balesa. Can you imagine? Diose tulalanda. He says you have to arrest people after investigation. 48 hours, you have to take them to court. Why did it have to take me 2 weeks to be mukeji? Are you telling me ba musamba bali sura sana ba akainde? Kuba sura pantukuka? Really, when a president makes a pronouncement, it becomes law. Why is he allowing it's because he gives instructions privately to mistreat people. That's what I believe. So he shouldn't be pretending. This shows who he really is. Because under 48 hours, you have to take them to court. Why are they ignoring that? By the way, the other reason I want to go to the UN, there's another woman from Choma, who was arrested for aggravated robbery. It's almost going to 3 years. The court process started. It doesn't exist. Almost 4 years no. The girl is there. So since ba UN bari muno, ba bamone panto apa kufuma pa UN ukia pa chimboka ilo no kwenda kuti baenda. That's the other reason. That's what is happening, and this because she was a strong PF cadre kuchoma. I've just forgotten her name.
Okay, so every time on the show, at this time, we usually ask our guest presenter to pick a song.
Yeah. Is there a song you would love to
you're enjoying, a song that you'd like to listen to?
You know, when I was in Kawambwa, Mukeji Bambikiri, Ganaba very low. I would first pray, then Naisa Matokwimpa. Tatande lomba olo mundi shisheko monsungire mishila pantune wondichi muti chama.
That's a song by Chester.
Yes. To say, are you considering to sit back? Zambia. How can I sit back and ignore the politics, the nonsense which is happening in this country? Who is going to speak for Caroline, who has been incarcerated? For those who want to know, this Caroline Choma, it's the lady who was running area Matebeto Kuchoma. She has been incarcerated for almost 3 years. Nganaika back. Who is going to speak for such people? You know, Zambia. That's why when I was in that cell, sleeping outside, infula ide ndoka. That's what was being inspired by that song. You know, the day before yesterday, because I arrived yesterday by 03, before Tabala Mfumia Muma sales, Barisa Isabana Mayo, but Mama Ketias, they were demonstrating at Kawambwa police station. You know? It is really sad. And so that I continue speaking to the people of Zambia.
Okay. It's now time for you to be part of this conversation. Give us a call on 0950-955-877 or 0974-870-877. We'd like to hear from you this morning. Do call us now. It's 0974-870-877 or 0950-955-877. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name? Martin, I'll ask you to hold your phone properly and just get it off speaker so that we hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Martin?
You can hear me clearly now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
Mumbi Phiri Murishan.
Bueno mkwaiba Martin mwashuka shani mkwai.
Bueno, akifake format demo.
Mkwai.
Therefore, the support from like a mind just where they speaker. Mulelandira separate brand so. Then the shop upon political party in onse. So the folks support us. I must say that River Council around me to me the phone, but then that I'm glad we have answered my call. There was a time now to me the phone in Ishmael PF more about the Secretary General. That is that the folk Monava Jonas and the Nombana Difidwa. So my son but my hand and a bena. But if I'm a minute no, but Jonas and the phone. So I researched things that over one very fishing. So,
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Martin. It's 0974-870-877, 0955-877. We'd like to hear from you this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Peri and Hope.
Morning to you. What's your name?
Thank you. This is the home country calling you from Kanyama Central, Zambia.
Please go ahead with your question or contribution.
Mauka Mumbi Phiri.
Nauka, my brother, and a happy new year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
How is the Jamai Mulipanja? We just a nigga. There are many people who are carrying on the Fernando. Wachoka. Como mafunzo yangu jana. Kote amai mukamba kuti tauzino expression negolide.
Atshani, kama again wa musanje sinamvera hapo.
Na tunifunza kuti freedom of expression ya politics and when you are alone.
Ndiye question yanu wa Msanje?
Mafuta research alguino kuja mapero wote kupala manaje station I think kuli ne kukawamba kwa mene mnaenda kujona huko yote wa erika tunajisikia bwana jibuka mnaenda mazoni ya when you are politicians kama maseo yao ndani mapia women akagonemo you don't care. How could you remember Mafiga or Manja? I think you have got an idea how you're going to improve the living standard of Mavamba. Why is police taking a man within a Manga Manja in Arigo? And also Gavangana, Mopulatoga, and my most so Gavangana, Monachoga. So, Chiriku Mapuzava exists. It's a good living for you. Now, it's one of that.
You know, it's very sad to hear a person like Musanje rejoicing in the mistreatment of a woman. It's really sad. By you PND tamwa kwate mitima. And you know, ukulanda fiechinka. Do you know that kwaliba abantu ebo adi tupela matalanta fila nachilala ma politics ri talanta liandi. Ili akusunga abantu. Like those two brothers in the Bible. Uriaumbia talanta diakularima ama vegetables. Efiale tuana na kuilambo. Uriaumbi munina amupele talanta diakusunge nama na ene shwale tuala kuilambo. Sole sangari kupele talanta diakusungo musalu. Stick to that. Don't move to become uwakulasunga abantu. Ngari kupere talanta lya kusunga enama. Stick to that, otherwise ngawamba okusunga abantu ukalaba sunga ngenama. It's only somebody who is not normal who can rejoice ati mwaenda mwaonako. Are you okay? Ba Musanje na michindika, but what you have said, you have no heart. I think kuti mwachindika pone mbushu kuchiro omuntu. You should feel it for me. Huh? And others shouldn't pass through that. It's not that Tureranda na Peri expression, freedom of expression. It's not like that. It's human rights which we are talking about now. And inenga ninebo maiki imposha after in fact, the other complainant I hear is from Chingola. ichicha chitika chakati wabepesha neighbor obe bululu obe. When your neighbors, that's your relative. Mposha is my relative. If anything happened to me, Ewingesa, before my mother comes from Mufurira to come and check what is happening to me, Ewapanga sawa my relationships. If it was okay, no kuchita resign, idali neba mfumishe. Because ba DPP, ni ba UPND banankwe ba Gilbert Peri, eba di ba lawyer baba akainde. Ba mukani na balangesha what it was lying. Abe ne ba muchita expose beka ngani kufyalo fimbi.
Down. Honorable Francis Mumbi Phiri, one of movies calling from the. Good morning to you in the studio, and good morning to you, Honorable Mumbi Phiri. How are you this morning?
Vamashina, I'm very fine, thank you, and good morning and happy new year.
My name is Happy New Year to you too and my children.
I'm quite, thank you.
I'm quite, yes. You know, the reason why I gave you the name the Iron Lady, I gave that name to you because you are one of the few fearless women in this country today who's a very good example. The other women, we should make sure you fight for your rights than to always be people that people think women are just for the kitchen or for the bedroom. No. What you are doing is a good service and God is going to watch over you. Now, Mumbi Phiri, we are happy out. I'm very happy personally. We're not sleeping all of us when that thing happened because we were wondering how does a woman go overpower men, powerful men, with one pocket 20,000 in a phone? It did not make sense. Now, what I want to say to you, Mumbi Phiri, the issue of your removal, or the way you removed yesterday, could it be as a result of the UN report, so whatever, the what because the UN are watching this issue? Do you think if those who didn't come, you'd have actually been inside? What do you think about that? And then also, the removal, the termination of the contact by the president of the deputy IG for operations, could it be as a result mainly because of your wrongful detention or the police act of Avila sometimes? The reason, if so, if that is the reason why the contact has been terminated yesterday or whatever, what do you have to say to the nation and to the president of the country at large? And also, how would you advise the police to become professional in the way they do sexual issues rather than being political? Because look, a contact has been terminated. What will happen to that officer now? He's got no job. He was so excited with a lot of
All
things
right,
here.
Francis,
But right
we've
now,
given you a lot of time. Thank you for your call.
let me end here. Thank you very much.
Okay, you know, it's very sad. By the way, Francis, now you remind me. The nation should know that actually Honorable Mposha gave his first statement. He was followed again to give a second statement and was told that I should be implicated. Are you not surprised that that letter from the DPP started circulating on social media? Why is it that? It's because they are tired. And very soon, I'm in possession of the first statement ya Mposha, na second statement. How did I get this? It's because even the police are tired. And the way I'm seeing the situation, araba UPND, mupange ba duplicate, ba never smumbaka ideba bisapota. Mubapange ba duplicate, mubapange omuliten. Because even what you are doing, no kuina iliaka wambwa, I can tell you, the general election, you are already gone. So mupange ba mutati duplicate, ba never smumba duplicate. Ba mupanga ma duplicate abakwati bakale michitira campaign in all the constituencies. Otherwise mukalusa. Muno mulusaka. Who is going to vote for you again? Overlying on a woman. Elo niwe katolika. Who? Surely, really. I wish Hope can aspire to be MP for Munadi. Because whoever is going to stand in Munadi, Mposha, what he has started, I'm ready to put in money. We can't have an MP lying on a woman. You know, a woman and a young person, we are vulnerable, even recognized by the United Nations. busheba mposha kuti balala nabakashi babo 14 days tabasamba kuti babu fimba nobulangeti. Those are the implications. You can't treat a woman like that. So very soon mwala mona first statement ya Peri bamposha near second because they are in my possession.
All right, so we actually have Honorable Michael Mposha on the line right now. He would like to respond to
give him a program like me so that he can respond.
Honorable Mposha, good morning.
Good morning, Hope. Good morning, Pez, and good morning to our listeners.
Good morning.
Thank you. I've not followed your program closely. I'm out of town, but of course I received a few phone calls on the allegations that Madam Mumbi Phiri is making. To start with, it's very, very sad that you see an adult person, a politician, senior politician, would go on radio and give the nation a very, very negative picture. You hope what Mumbi is doing is basically to politicize a matter which deep down her heart, she knows that she should have not conducted herself in a manner she did. Okay?
DPP cleared me. Why has the DPP cleared me?
She's referring...
Hello, Baposha. Why has the DPP, who is you cleared me?
You are not the one interviewing me.
No, they pusha. Let us see respond because who can? No, it's not being fair.
Just allowing
DPP is the one who has cleared
started speaking. It's only right that the country
make a program.
You can't be the only one. You can't be the only one talking. You have accused me on radio. I have a right to respond, and I'm grateful that Hot FM has given me a chance to speak.
Mr. Mposha,
first of all, the truth of the matter, it's not even true. If she can show you the statement, I'm happy she says that she's in possession of my statement. Let her prove in that statement where I, Mike Mposha, whose name she's abusing on radio, where I went to the police and said Mumbi Phiri stole my phone and attacked me and stole my phone. My statement is very, very clear that Mumbi Phiri brought people to our meeting, okay? Mumbi Phiri brought people to our meeting, and her people attacked one person who was in my delegation called Peri. In fact, Hope and Pez, you may wish to know that right at the scene when this thing was happening, we alerted Madam, we told Mumbi Phiri, who was next to me, that look at what your people have done. Instead of addressing the situation, Mumbi Phiri went and jumped on the vehicle and called this criminal called Peter to jump into the vehicle, and together, in one vehicle, they took off. So if she gotten out of this case on a technicality, she must only thank God. But to tell you the truth, Hope, Pezi, and me, if we went to rob somebody, we went together. Whether you stayed in the car behind, and the two of us, Hope and me, went and broke into a house, it's up to the police to see what charge they should give. So you must not abuse my name. The question you must be answering is that you, as a renowned politician, you knew there was a UPND meeting at Chisheta Primary School. You came with the people there to destabilize us. And that is where the issue is. If it's me who followed the meeting, then you have every right to go to the media and abuse me in that manner. Today, you are telling people that I concocted a story. I was compelled by whoever to implicate you. You, Madam, must be very grateful. I want the nation to know that when we won the elections on the 12th of August 2021, there was a huge crowd going to destroy her place. At 01, I left my house to go and protect that Mumbi Phiri's family myself. Now today, the same Mumbi Phiri whom I protected could go and get people an allegation that I was with ECZ and we had the pre-marked ballots. Because that is what brought her to Chisheta School. She saw me and talked to me. And as she's saying, it's true that we go to the same church. I allowed her to go through the classroom and everywhere to check. She didn't find the ECZ. She didn't find the so-called ballot papers. At that stage, Madam Mumbi Phiri had all the powers to put the situation under control. Unfortunately, she worsened the situation because herself wanted to attack one of the UPND members, and that's where the commotion started from. Why was Madam Mumbi Phiri accompanied by youth who had catapults and teaser guns? Those are things that she must be telling the nation. We didn't have the catapults, we didn't have the teaser guns. The teaser guns are supposed to be in the hands of the police. Why were the youth accompanying Mumbi Phiri with all those weapons?
Mr. Mbosha,
So who caused
we'll need you to quickly conclude because we need
so
you to respond as well.
in conclusion, thank you so much. In conclusion, I want to say that there was no malice in my complaint. Let her read the statement. Since she's in possession of my statement, let her read the statement I gave to the police, to the whole country. She's alleging that I use cheaper phones than her phones. I live in a cheaper house than her house.
Of course. Am I right?
Hope and pays. Hope and pays. I'm very grateful. If I live in a cheaper house, I only thank God for giving me that house, and I'm proud that I worked for it. As to whether Mumbi Phiri worked for what she has, it's only God to prove that. But I'll not go cheaper in those areas.
Mr. Posha, thank you for
I want to say that there was no malice in my report, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I hope you can give me a chance to, to make an appearance and also bring my statements which I gave to the police.
All right, Mr. Posha, thank you for your call.
It's sad.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks so much.
It's sad that we can have a man who can lie even on phone. Hope na Pizzi, I've been to this station before. And it's true, when the people, after we lost the election, when they came to attack me, I haven't hidden. That's why I'm disappointed with you, Posha. I've said publicly, you came and saved my life. I haven't hidden that because I'm a truthful person. And for you to say, if I worked for where I live, Posha, you know my husband. Huh? Can you compare myself with my husband? Why haven't I been arrested if you are not sure of where I live? It's because I'm married to a man who can afford to give me a good life, who is not your match. So don't insinuate what you're insinuating.
But I think maybe we can cut down on the personal attacks and maybe just respond to the issues that have been raised.
Hope, when he was saying, oh God knows, wasn't he attacking my personality? I can't afford what I have. It's not a match to my husband. I'm comparing two men. My husband is a professional and he has worked and he looks after me well. Thirdly, Posha, you yourself ninkwata recording. How can you accuse me to bring the boys whom you yourself with your mouth, you said those boys came the first time? Was I there when they came the first time? You with your own mouth, you said they came the second time. Was I there? You yourself, you said, when I went with them, that was the third time those boys went there. How can you accuse me? Are you accusing me because you know you are losing this election in 2026 so that you can gauge some of us? Feel ashamed. The two statements I've told you, I have. In fact, while I am on nobody in social media, because I don't want just to limit to this station. Therefore, I charge money. Posha, now we save anya. Elwaba kuseva anya niba DPP. Abalandira titamuli evidence. If you look in that DPP report, na abalandano kulandati, uyo muntu oba chitireteza, takuli na report ya medical. Aren't you ashamed? You should feel ashamed. Katoliko abu firesa kwafwe.
Madam Mumbi Phiri, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and I'm so grateful that you invited me. I'm tired. I look tired. Na mtumona tumukulendukire. Bandukire kuri akuine ku hospital kuruka wambwa. Ero teba kashana. Ala nalisa aba big machine. Abantu bawufaze ati Mumbi Phiri adi buno baisaba kadi nadine fikuti baisanduka kona tumukule. I'm so grateful.
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.